Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to share about things that I wish I knew before going into medicine. I've also been receiving questions asking about studying medicine and becoming a doctor, and what it's like to become a doctor, what it's like to study in medicine, and how much do you really need to study. Because I know that a lot of SPM candidates are going to get their results on, I think it's 10th of June, and I hope that this video answers like most of your questions and your doubts. I remember when I first got my SPM results and I was so unsure on what I want to do. Like for me, I haven't really considered doing medicine until I went through A-levels, and from there I decided that I want to do medicine. Some of you guys has already know that you guys want to do medicine, which is really good. You know what you want to do. You have a direction, which is good. I remember when I decided I want to do medicine, I told people around me, and some of them is actually very supportive of me doing medicine, and some of them actually is not that supportive of me doing medicine. So I've also bring this up to the doctors around me, like the doctors I've seen and like the doctors I've met in my life. What they told me is, why do you want to do medicine? And they don't really sound supportive of that. And by that time I was wondering, why did they discourage me from doing medicine? And I'm really not sure why are they doing that. And what they say is life is not easy as a doctor. And I was like, I thought my like from what I've observed, all the doctors earn a lot of money in Malaysia. So that brings me to my topic for today. So at first, what I know about doctors in Malaysia are they earn a lot of money, but what I didn't really see behind that is they've actually gone through a lot of trainings and a lot of studies, a lot of time in the library, a lot of time in the hospital, just to get to where they are right now. To be honest, most of the doctors who earn a lot of money is specialists, and they really put a lot of effort to it. You have to invest a lot of your youth, your time in your studies and your career before you can get that. I'm telling you this is I don't want everyone to have this wrong thinking of being a doctor can earn a lot of money. Your base salary will be higher as a fresh grad. The amount of work that you have to put into your work is really a lot. Like as a fresh grad, as a housemanship, you have to work like 6 days per week, and you have to work like at least 12 hours per day. Were you willing to do that for the extra money that you earn? I really haven't noticed this until I entered into medical school, and until people start talking about the salary and start talking about the future. To earn a lot of money out of being a doctor is like you have to earn it. You have to go through the work, and you have to like put in the effort to get that. Many people say that studying medicine is really hard. At that moment, my thinking was, as long as I get through these 5 years, I will have a good life after that. I won't be struggling anymore. And what can 5 years of study do to me? Like, I've already went through high school, I've already went through 6 years of primary schools and 5 years of high school. What's another 5 years is going to do to me? But what I haven't really realized is medicine is not just a 5-year medical school thing. It's like a lifelong learning kind of thing. It's not like my imagination of like, oh, you can straight away start deciding what you want to do with the patient. And instead you have someone higher than you. You have like medical officer, and then you have like your consultant, your registrar, someone like that. And they are the one, like mostly they are the one who's going to make decision for the patient instead of you making the decision for the patient. You're just a fresh grad and you need more training to get to there to start contributing to your patient. Yes, you are contributing, but not in a way of making the decision for the patient. What I want to say here is, if you really want to get to that point, it's not just about 5 years of medical school and that's it. You have to go on from there. You have to train yourself. Okay, in Malaysia, you have 2 years of housemanship, and then another maybe 2 years of compulsory service. I'm not really sure about this. And then you move on to your specialty training or something like this. And in Australia, it's 1 year of internship, 2 years of residency, and then you have like 3 to 4 years of registrar, and then you become a consultant from there. Even if you graduate from med school, you have to still study, and even if you're still a doctor, you have to still study. And when I go to hospital posting in Malaysia, I still see doctor reading about articles. I still see doctor still carrying textbook around because they want to learn. And like there's a lot of things in medicine that you can't really learn everything in 5 years in medical school. Let's take this pandemic as an example. So suppose like you're a doctor who's already graduate like before all this pandemic thing happens, and then you don't really learn anything about COVID-19 at that moment. Suddenly this pandemic thing happened, and this is like a new thing, and you can't just say that I've already graduated from med school, I'm not going to learn anything more, I'm not going to study anymore. Then how are you going to treat the patient with COVID-19? This is like one of the examples. So being a doctor is about lifelong learning and constantly updating yourself. I believe that a lot of people who want to study medicine, you guys score well in school, you guys know how to study, you guys score well in exam. Probably this is also one of the reasons why you are considering doing medicine, because that's what people told us, right? Someone who knows how to study, someone who can study, someone who is smart should go to medicine, and that's what they told us. I just want to remind you guys that yes, medicine is about studying, but another big part in medicine is you have to spend a lot of time in the hospital communicating with the patient and doing a lot of clinical work. Is that something for you? You have to really think, is that something for you? So before I entered into medicine, I was like, okay, I can study bio, I can study, that's what I think. And I think there won't be any problem if I enter into med school. So after I go into med school, yeah, the studying part is not a really big problem for me. But another thing is the communication is very important. It's not in a way that, okay, I talk to this patient and this patient talk to me. I use someone who can take the stress, and like when the patient passes away, I use someone who is capable of delivering the bad news to their family. I would say that your way of handling emotion is important too. And maybe there is some emergency, I use someone who can be calm enough to handle the situation. Maybe this is something that you guys really want to think before deciding whether you want to go into medicine. Before I enter into med school, what I think about medicine is just studying, that's it. And after entering into medicine, and particularly after being in a clinical phase, I do realize that a lot of things that you need to learn while being a doctor. It's not just about studying, and it's not about just doing the skills or like the procedure. You have to also know how to control your emotion, you have to also know how to balance your life, and you have to also know how to handle a difficult situation. But after listening to this, you still decide to choose medicine and become a doctor, that is good. It means that you are already mentally prepared for this and you are ready to overcome this. So this is the reason why I'm talking into the camera right now, because I really want you guys to know what it's really like to become a doctor, instead of like thinking about all the good thing about doctors. Before being in the situation, you'll only see oh, this person have a lot of good thing, he's a doctor, he earns a lot of money. But behind of that thing, it's hard work, it's time, it's tears, it's sweat, and it's all hard work. It's not as glamorous as it seems. To get into that position, there's a lot of things that we don't see. I don't really see this before deciding that I want to become a doctor. Don't think about the result. Think that whether you want to undergo the hard work, the stress or not. Like think about the training, think about 10 years of training to go into that position. So think about that. See whether you want to go through that or not before going into medical school. Yesterday when I was like doing my thing and like cooking and stuff like that, and suddenly I think that, oh, there's a lot of SPM student who is messaging me in Instagram asking me about, okay, becoming a doctor, is it stressful, how much things you have to learn, how do you manage to learn that? And I was like, okay, I want to answer you guys, but I couldn't really like express myself in the message. Some of you guys, like, you guys are really polite and friendly and still reply thank you and you're helping me a lot, but I really don't feel that I'm helping you guys a lot by sending you a short text message, and I apologize for that, and this is why I'm doing this video for you guys, so you guys can like understand more about what a doctor do. I have another questions on how do you manage to study so many things, and how do you manage to memorize everything in med school? Well, to be honest with you guys, I don't memorize everything. Even the high-level performance student won't get to memorize everything, and this is why we have a lot of specialty in medicine. I don't memorize everything, to be very honest. I don't memorize everything, but I try my best to do my best. I don't want you guys to have the thinking of, okay, she said that being in medical school you don't really have to memorize everything. The reason why we couldn't memorize everything in med school is because there's too much of things to learn. It's not just like your SPM biology or like your A-level biology. There's more than that. That's like, I think like it's like 10 times or 20 times more than that. So the reason why we couldn't learn everything is we are human beings. We couldn't force ourselves to memorize too much thing in a short period of time. That's why doctors take a long time to study. They don't just use 5 years to master everything. They study, they work, and they gather their experience in the hospital, and that is how they know their thing. So that brings to the conclusion that to become a doctor, you don't have to be exceptionally smart, but you have to be exceptionally hardworking and exceptionally I don't know what adjective that I can use here. Passionate. You have to be exceptionally passionate. There's a lot of time that I want to give up and drop out of med school, but what really keeps me from staying here, even though that I know I'm going to put way much effort even after I graduate and in the future to become a good doctor, what makes me stay in this field is passion. The passionate that you want to learn, you want to learn the skill to save someone, you want to be better, you want to become a better doctor so you can help someone with your skills, with what you have learned. And that is something that makes me stay motivated. My advice for you guys is, if you are considering to become a doctor, you have to be passionate. Because like at this moment, as a medical student, I really feel that if I want to get rich, becoming a doctor is not going to help me with that. There is way much easier way to get rich other than becoming a doctor. I have so many friends who are not studying medicine, and like maybe some of them who don't really go into university. They are doing well in their life. If you want to get rich, there are ways to get rich, but becoming a doctor is not a way to get rich. If you want your life to become better, there's a lot of way to do that. There's a lot of easier way to do that. Why do you want to choose the hard way? So guys, you guys want to like really think about this if you are doing medicine for the sake of earning money. When I was graduating from high school, I think that I have the maturity to choose what I want to do in the future, so I don't really get any help from counseling or career consultation. Until now, I realized that my way of thinking when I'm leaving high school is really simple and not mature enough to choose what is good for me in the future. If you really don't know what you want to do in the future, you're not sure whether this is good for you or not, try to seek for help. Don't be like me. I don't really seek a lot of help from people about my future plan. Someone who have already have the experience of deciding what they are going to do with their future, and in that way you can gain more perspective and more opinion, and then you can make decision from there. I really hope that you guys get what you want in your SPM results, and I hope for the best for you guys in pursuing your dreams and doing what you want to do in the future. And I also want to tell you guys that SPM is just a small test in your life. It's not your everything. So if you don't get a really good results for SPM, it doesn't really matter. As long as you have the responsibility, as long as you are hardworking enough, you will find a way to sustain your life. There is advantage of having a good grade, but what really brings you to your goal is not a good grade. It's your attitude towards facing a problem and the effort that you're willing to put in to improve your life. Okay, I'm going to say this, but if you like my video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and please leave a thumbs up. And if you have any more questions, please leave your questions down below in the comment, or if you want to talk to me privately, you can approach me in Instagram. And thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!